Good afternoon, and thank you so much for coming today and choosing the Decatur Family YMCA to host this event. The YMCA and families have always been partners in youth development. As a leader of families, parents have the most influence on a child's development. One of the most important decisions a parent will make is a choice of a high-quality childcare for their child's preschool to school-age years. Quality childcare opportunities are available all across the state of Illinois. And because of programs like the Child Care Assistance Program, quality child care programs are available for everyone. It is my honor to introduce Governor Pritzker.
Thanks so much, Dominic, and thanks to all of you for joining us today. It's great to be back here at the Decatur Family YMCA. Thanks to them for hosting us today, and thanks to the Illinois Department of Human Services, Secretary Grace Ho, to our Senator Doris Turner, Representative Sue Scher, and to Mayor Julie Moore-Wolf. Thank you for your dedication to the work that you do on behalf of the people who live in this area. And I want to especially thank the Y for the work that they do serving the children of Decatur, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. I know that the virus has created uncertainty and hardship for the leadership staff, parents, and kids here at the Y. But I want you to know that you are truly, to Zamira Mans, thank you for taking the time to join us today. And I especially want to say that, it's my goal that Nyson, your son, and every child in Illinois have access to affordable, quality childcare. And today we move closer to that reality. When I took office, I said that we are aiming to make Illinois the best state in the nation for families raising young children. Today, I'm very proud to announce another important step in that direction. We are making a series of new investments to make childcare more affordable for Illinois families and deliver more dollars to providers. We're ensuring quality childcare is accessible for more people, allowing more people to return to work without worry about where their kids will go during the day. Ensuring quality childcare is accessible for more people, allowing more people to return to work without worry about where their kids will go during the day, and helping Illinois' childcare network rebuild after the last 16 months of our COVID-19 crisis. Starting July 1st, that's the day after tomorrow, we're lowering the cost of childcare for 80% of Illinois' families who receive child care assistance. And families at or below the federal poverty line will now pay only $1 a month for child care. This will make Illinois among the best states in the nation in our support of child care needs for moderate income families. We're capping costs also at 7% of income. That's significantly below national averages, and this change is not a temporary pandemic-related change. This is a permanent policy change for the state of Illinois. Now think about that, 7% of income. That's significantly better than in most states in the country, and it's something that I think we should be proud of. We're also expanding access to child care assistance to more families, increasing eligibility for current CCAP families to 250% of the federal poverty level, up from the current cap of 225%. This expansion offers families, and particularly women, more flexibility as they try to navigate child care needs, returning to work, and health and safety as a priority. At the same time, we're making sure that child care providers are better supported. So we're increasing reimbursements receive CCAP payments, like Decatur Family YMCA, helping them fund payroll and fully recover from the financial challenges of the pandemic. In summary, As of July 1st, the day after tomorrow, childcare is becoming more affordable, more available, and more stable for families across the state of Illinois. Today's actions build on the work that I've done to ensure administration has increased payment rates to provide families across the state of Illinois. Today's actions build on the work that I've done to ensure administration has increased payment rates to providers, an industry historically underappreciated, underpaid, and predominantly staffed by women. We've also increased eligibility so that more and more families can enter CCAP and access quality, affordable childcare, a 15 percentage point increase in income eligibility since I came into office. That's a permanent commitment to childcare accessibility and affordability that's also been at the heart of our pandemic response and our economic recovery. In the worst throes of the pandemic, Illinois dedicated $290 million to 5,000 childcare centers and homes in 95 counties in our state, including the Decatur Family YMCA, helping them stay afloat through this challenging year. Illinois offered pandemic childcare relief far beyond the national standard. The program was so successful that we're now expanding. We're expanding it using federal COVID-19 relief dollars to provide another $280 million in grants, supporting childcare providers in paying rent and maintaining staff, supplies, and training, while also supporting the return of parents, especially mothers who so often bear the brunt of childcare at home, returning them to the workforce. That's a real difference for the thousands of families here in Decatur and the surrounding counties who rely on CCAP to know that their children are safe and well cared for. It's a real difference for providers like the Decatur Family YMCA who are navigating unprecedented times and shouldn't have to go it alone. And it's a real difference for all of Illinois because when our youngest families succeed, our whole state reaps the benefits. With that, I'd like to turn it over to an outstanding leader in my administration, someone who works hard every day to lift up families all across our state, and that's our Department of Human Services Secretary, Grace Ho. Grace?
Good afternoon. Thank you. It's a pleasure to join all of you here today in Decatur. The changes that the governor just announced today are yet another demonstration of our administration's strong support for working families, to quality childcare for our youngest Illinois residents, and to rebuild communities from the pandemic. Governor Pritzker's leadership and his decades-long commitment to early childhood has been unwavering, and now in these unprecedented times, we're taking extraordinary measures and making significant improvements for working families, our providers, and communities. In the early months of the COVID-19 pandemic, the vast majority of childcare centers had to close, but we needed to protect this critically important system. Our administration stepped up with restoration grants. At the same time, the heroes on the front line needed emergency childcare. Our administration stepped up again to stand up emergency childcare workers for essential workers, like the one here at the Y. Then, as more childcare centers began opening back up, the responsibility for the health and safety for our children, and including in many cases school children whose parents couldn't help them with remote learning, fell on providers who are challenged with dropping enrollments. Again, we stepped up to provide ongoing funding and policy supports. Quality childcare is something that every child deserves, is a proven investment in our future, and is an investment in working families and communities. The need is critical, and we have and will continue to step up. At the Illinois Department of Human Services, we are proud to help carry out the governor's vision, which puts families and, more importantly, our children at the center of our recovery. These latest improvements to support childcare providers will begin in just a few days. They will help make childcare more affordable for working families in Illinois and will enable children to return to childcare centers and family childcare homes as well. To find out more information about Illinois Department of Human Services' Child Care Assistance Program and to find out if you are eligible, please visit illinoiscaresforkids.org. Again, that's illinoiscaresforkids.org. Governor Pritzker has provided unwavering support for the strongest ever investments in early childhood programs and facilities in Illinois. His support is making Illinois the best state in the nation for families to raise young children. Without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce Zamira Mann, who, like me, has two wonderful boys at home. Zamira?
Good afternoon. I'm not really great with speaking, but I do want to thank the YMCA and the Child Cares program. After 4 months of being at home, I endured brain surgery. I decided to re-enter the workforce. I was nervous. I didn't know what resources I had. I didn't know what kind of job I was able to do after brain surgery and who would care for my kid. I was able to find resources within Ruby at the YMCA. She was able to help me through the entire process to get my son signed up for the early childhood program. I really appreciate the program. I appreciate the staff. It is hard as a mom to leave your kids with someone all day. You kind of feel like you leave your kids with someone more than they're home with you awake. So I appreciate the program and the opportunity to speak for you all today. Thank you. I'm going to introduce Ms. Senator Doris Turner.
Good afternoon. Oh, wow. As we move into our post-pandemic era, child care is an essential engine, and along with parents, a partnership that plays a pivotal role in our state's economy and in the physical and mental welfare of families. My sister-in-law is a licensed daycare provider in the southern part of the state, and I always tell her that her job is one of the hardest because parents are depending on her to provide a safe, sanitary, stable, welcoming environment for their children every day so that they can go to their places of employment and feel comfortable that their children are going to be guarded in the best possible way all day long while they're away. A partnership, a true partnership that is beneficial and rewarding for both parents and child care providers. Unfortunately, the coronavirus pandemic, as it did most of our systems, wreaked havoc on this partnership. Finding reasonable, reliable child care has never been easy, and add to the mix a global pandemic that has caused job losses, pay cuts, and other financial hardships, and it's no wonder that parents need assistance now more than ever. Despite the key role child care providers continue to play in support of other essential industries, the system is at significant risk, and low-income families affected by the public health and economic crisis are among those most affected. Fortunately, for both entities, the improvements to the Child Care Assistance Program that Governor Pritzker has announced today will provide support for families and child care providers and make it so much easier for them to move into their new normal of leaving their children with someone so that they can re-enter the workforce as we're moving into not working from home and going back into the workplace. Families will see reduced family payments or co-payments and will have the assurance of more flexibility in increases in these payments as they begin to return to work and rebound from the financial impact of the pandemic. Providers will see an increase in reimbursement rates and improved predictability regarding attendance. This will allow for more stable payments for providers and provide significant assistance in keeping their doors open, leading to a full recovery from the pandemic, a plan that provides support and reinforcement for both parents and child care providers, that critical partnership. During this global pandemic, we have all had to lean on someone or something for support. We are baby stepping our way toward our post-pandemic new normal in partnership with one another, and these improvements will significantly strengthen one of our most important partnerships, that of parent and child care provider. So I want to thank you, Governor Pritzker, for this bold action that will impact lives on an economic, physical, and mental and emotional level. So thank you very much for always being the leader that you are in moving our state forward in such bold manners that really puts us in the forefront of what other states are doing. So we should really all be proud of that. So I would invite Representative Sushir to the podium.
Well, welcome to Decatur again, everyone. And this is one of the programs near and dear to my heart. So I so appreciate the governor seeing the importance of this. The number of calls that I'm sure other offices, not just me, but I know that we have sure fielded our fair share of calls of moms and dads just ready to lose it. Literally, they're having to make the decision between losing their job and caring for their children. And it's a real, true hardship. Not just something that they're thinking about, but knowing that tomorrow, what are they going to do? They have to go back to work, and there's nowhere for their children to go. Our number of daycares, the providers are down. The number of people working at the daycare centers are down. I know just for my own daughter getting the call at 11 o'clock at night, and she's in tears and said, well, the next vacancy at the place she wanted to go was 6 months. And she said it. She said, so it's very real. So do I quit my job? Or do I leave my 2-year-old at home alone? I mean, neither one of those are choices that a person can even make. It's impossible. And if people have to quit their jobs, then from there, think of what that does to the economy. In my heart of hearts, I do not believe that people want to just sit home on the couch. I really don't believe that. They want to work. But how many people are single moms who are depending on this as they work sometimes 2 and 3 jobs to just barely make $35,000 a year, which you can barely even live on? And then if that salary takes all of their income away to pay for the care of their children, they're actually money behind by going to work. And their children are having to go, then our economy suffers. How many stores, then our economy suffers. How many stores do we go to that have help wanted signs? Well, the reason there's a help wanted sign is because the worker can't come to work. The worker can't come to work because they can't find childcare. And it is just this vicious circle. So although to some people it may not seem like one of the most important things that have happened this year, in my heart, I really, truly feel it is. Because as Senator Turner said, it's so much more than just child care assistance. It's peace of mind for the parents. It's happiness for the children. It's so much less conflict in the home. It's workers being able to go to work. The economy is doing better because of it. It just touches every avenue. So I don't want to just be redundant here, but I'm so appreciative. And I know that the people who are going to benefit from this are hardworking people, and we care about them. And I'm hoping this can truly make a difference. And now it's my honor to introduce our mayor, Julie.
Thank you, Representative. Most of us get up and go to work every day primarily to help our families, to pay the mortgage, pay the bills, put food on the table. But if you have children, a critical part of that is who's going to take care of them. And one thing we've seen, as Representative Scheer was talking about, is a whole bunch of help wanted signs, because one part of this is people don't have available child care that they can afford. We have nearly 2,000 available jobs in Macon County, 2,000. And these aren't all entry level, they are all levels. And one of the reasons, not the entire reason, but one of the reasons contributing to this is not enough available child care that is affordable. So I am hoping beyond hope that this critical piece helps us heal our economy and recover from the pandemic in Decatur and Macon County, because we've got to get people back to work. We've got to have kids in school and with adequate and good in school and with adequate and good, affordable daycare to where parents don't have to worry about that so much and choosing between work and childcare for their kids. So I need you back in our grocery stores. And back to the podium, Governor Pritzker, who Decatur is, by the way, his favorite city. He told me that in the other room, but he is happy to answer all your questions. That's why he makes the big bucks. I'm going to the back row.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to take any questions from members of the media. Mark.
There are 400,000 plus workers still getting unemployment benefits, available workers in Illinois right now, and there are hundreds of thousands of available jobs. We've outlined some that I think Decatur is one of the hardest hit cities when it comes to their unemployment rate. I understand the child care piece, but we've talked to hiring managers, to staffing agencies, and they say that enhanced benefit is a factor. It is something that is causing people to look at the numbers, and some of them opt to stay home. If the government was paying people to stay home, why can't we pay people to go back to work? Why can't we pay people to go back to work?
The government's not paying people to stay home. In fact, the vast majority of people who are getting those benefits are not staying home because they're lazy, because they don't want to get a job. They're staying home in part because they can't get childcare, in part because there is a fear of either the situation at the workplace where they may get COVID, or, very importantly in many families, a concern that they may bring COVID home to family members who are vulnerable. So we're working very hard to try to help them mitigate those challenges. The first and foremost thing that we're doing here is, as you know, 60+% of the people who got out of work as a result of COVID-19 were women. Lost their jobs, right? Or they had to stay home because their kids were at home. They need to take care of their own. They can't go to work because they have children at home to take care of, or elder care. And so we're trying to mitigate that in every way we can. We're doing it in our Department of Aging, in elder care. We're doing it for child care here. I think it is a Republican right-wing talking point that says that people are just choosing to be lazy, to stay home, to get the extra few $100s while they can. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Speaking of elder care, you made another announcement today about at-home care.
That's right.
Can you talk about that?
Sure. We wanted to make sure that we provided additional support to the many people, and many of them are women actually, but the many people who provide elder care actually through our Department of Aging, people who are earning typically around minimum wage. And this is a boost to all of them. It will be not only going backward to reimburse them for the first 3 months of the year, but also going forward. So this is something that's, these were essential workers. These are people who we could not have survived without during the pandemic. And so we're just acknowledging that these folks deserve and earn a few extra dollars per hour.
Is this maybe also a factor in people not being able to go back to work?
It is. The people that we're rewarding are, in fact, the workers who are helping those folks. So they're not going to stop working, I don't think. But to your point, we have, again, the elder care situation of, during the pandemic, the most vulnerable among us, in addition to people of color, were people who are elderly and needed care, perhaps at home. And so, yes, this is, I would acknowledge that this is a reason why some people have chosen not to go back to their work situation before COVID, because they need to take care of you see some of us wearing masks up here, all of us here. You see some of us wearing masks up here, all of us here, because we want to make sure people understand that the Delta variant is out there and we need to be careful, all of us, so that we're not either spreading it to others or getting it ourselves. But it is, people are concerned, and so they want to make sure that their seniors at home are taken well care of.
Governors have traditionally gone to the annual Fallen Police Officer Memorial event in Springfield. You didn't go this year. I don't believe you attended the funeral of Officer Overhand. I didn't see a tweet about that. What message does that send law enforcement, and why didn't you go?
Oh, no, as you know, I've been to many of the memorials for police across the state, as well as for our state police. I care deeply about our law enforcement officers. As you know, there were a couple of different things going on at the moment of that particular honor, event that you're talking about. And I just, frankly, I have in person to many of the people. I call a lot of the widows and people, the remaining family members of those who are fallen officers to talk to them directly. So whether you see me there on camera or not is, I think, less important than am I reaching out to law enforcement and offering them the condolences of the state of Illinois.
We have time for one more question.
Brendan.
On Mark's question.
Sure.
At the Decatur City Council meeting last week, Mayor Contest, there was a long discussion about state of police, about the difficulties recruiting police officers. There's a lot of shortages around the state. Are you concerned that the criminal justice reform bill that starts to go into effect on Thursday is kind of a deterrent for people who may want to be a police officer in Illinois, especially with all the other challenges facing officers?
I'm concerned about the misinformation about the Safety Act. There's a lot of stuff that people have put out on Facebook claiming that we're opening jail doors and letting people out as if they were never arrested in the first place because of the call to end cash bail. Cash bail has not been ended in this state right now, just to be clear to everybody. And the whole point of ending cash bail is actually to keep people in jail who are the ones who are most dangerous. And right now, if you're a very dangerous person and you're given a bail number, if you can pay that, you're out. You can get out of jail. Someone who is an example of there's misinformation out there about what the Safety Act is. I do think that's affecting some of the officers and their decisions. I think there's another thing we should consider, which is there may be officers who choose to retire at this time because they liked the way things operated before, when you didn't have to be accountable on certain matters, particularly with regard to how people of color are treated, how the arrestees are treated, et cetera. I'm not saying that's all officers, but there may be some who make decisions based upon, I liked the way it used to be, I don't really want to change, so I don't want to go through the change that's necessary to be accountable the way that we now have the laws arranged.
And Governor, can I ask one more very quickly?
What's that?
There's a bill on your desk that would give the city of Decatur quick take authority in the Brush College Road grade separation project. Do you plan to sign that?
I have 660 bills that are coming at me, and some of them have arrived, some of them haven't. So I apologize that I can't answer the question today, but I promise you, as soon as a decision gets made, we'll let you know. Thank you.